Hare Krishna. How many of you are new or first time here today? Well, welcome. We hope to see you more often. Welcome to Brisbane Bhakti Yoga Hare Krishna Society. This is a very important initiative for our Sankirtan movement to have preaching centers all over in every town, in every village, and it's highly essential for all of us to make the most of it. So effectively, I must apologize in advance because I'm tone deaf, and I'm going to sing a little song. In fact, it's a song by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. It's a 11 stanza song, but to save you all from the trouble, I'll just sing the first three. And the reason we chose the song is because the class today is quite a technical class, and it goes first to the sages of Namasharanya, who then take us to Narada Narayan. Narada Narayan takes us to Swarvaloka. Swarvaloka takes us down from Swarvaloka, we'll go down to Lord Vishnu, and from Lord Vishnu will take us to Golok Vrindavan. So time permitting, hopefully I don't lose you along the way, and some of the classes, some of the information I'll give you, just for authenticity point of view, will be quite technical. So don't worry too much about it. Just remember the essence, and hopefully we'll get to appreciate a little bit about the month of Purushottam by the end of this class. So again, I must apologize for my singing lack of ability. And so this song is a common song, and it glorifies, because we're going to Vrindavan, our ultimate destination is Vrindavan in today's class. It describes a little bit about Vrindavan. We'll just start off, the translation is, all glories to Sri Radha Krishna and the divine forest of Vrindavan. All glories to the three presiding deities, Sri Vrindavan, Sri Govinda, Gopinath, and Madan Mohan. All glories to Shamakund, Radhakund, Govardhan Yal, and the Yamuna river, Kalandi. All glories to the greatest forest known as Mahavan, where Krishna and Balaram displayed all their childhood pastimes. All glories to Sri Keshigat, where Krishna killed the Kesi demon. All glories to Sri Vamsi Vata tree, where Krishna attracted the gopis to come and play his flute. Glories to all of the 12 forests of Raja. At these places, the son of Nanda, Krishna, performed all his pastimes. It's a beautiful song. This is one of the songs that's recommended to follow during this coming month. So let's... Jayo Radhe, Jayo Krishna, Jayo Vrindavan. Jayo Radhe, Jayo Krishna, Jayo Vrindavan. Jayo Radhe, Jayo Krishna, Jayo Vrindavan. Sri Govinda, Gopinata, Madana Mohan. Gopinata, Sri Govinda, Gopinata, Madana Mohan. Shama Kunda, Radha Kunda, Giri Govardhan Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Kalandi Yamuna Jayo Jayo Mahaban Yamuna Jayo Mahaban Kalandi Yamuna Jayo Jayo Mahaban Jayo Mahaban Keshi Gata Bamsi Bata Dwardasha Kalan Keshi-Gata Bamsi Bata Dwadasha-Kakan Keshi-Gata Bamsi Bata Dwadasha-Kakan Yaha Swabalila Koilo Shri Nandanandan Yaha Swabalila Koilo Shri Nandanandan Yaha Shabalila Koilo Sri Nandanandan Yaha Shabalila Koilo Sri Nandanandan Jayo Radhe Jayo Krishna Jayo Vrindavan Radhe Jayo Jayo Radhe Jayo Krishna Jayo Vrindavan Jayo Radhe Jayo Krishna Jayo Vrindavan Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Srila Prabhupada ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Jai. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. I pray to my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, and our Sampradaya to please allow me to speak the right words and at the right time, with the right consciousness and the right mood. So today's class is a little bit of a technical class. So those of you all that have come for the first time, just appreciate the essence of it. And I think it's a very beneficial class for us in the Gauriya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Purushottam month wasn't well known as high for many years. I'm not sure if you remember, but it has been developing like as we've been progressing, as we've been maturing. It reminds me of one pastime I had with my spiritual master. In 1996, I was with my spiritual master in Mumbai, assisting him with a Baicharan. And at that time, he got a little bit sick. It was quite a high pressure time. He got a bit sick. And what happened was a lady came and treated him with pranic healing. So anybody knows what pranic healing is? So pranic healing, I didn't know about it until at that time. So one disciple asked Bhakti-Charan Maharaj, why is it that that Srila Prabhupada didn't teach us all these sciences? And my Guru Maharaj gave an answer that I find pertaining in many, many aspects as we mature as a society. He says, see, Srila Prabhupada, when he gave us all the things that we could handle at the time. And as we are maturing, Srila Prabhupada is sending the expertise and the knowledge to make us, to elevate us or mature, to reach our maturity level. So, Purushottam month, even when I was quite young in Krishna consciousness, even Ekadashi was, it took us a couple of years before we even heard what Ekadashi was. We're talking about the early days, about 35, 38 years ago. I don't know. I remember even one day in Sri Sri Radharana temple, we used to have a program on a Wednesday and a Sunday. And on Wednesday night, we used to make these big buckets of nice cookies. And I was giving cookies out to everybody. And one devotee came and said, hey, you know what? We shouldn't be having, grain on today. I asked, so why? So that was the first time I heard of Ekadashi. And I've been already going to the temple for years. So, similarly, a couple of years ago, recently, I got a call from one of my god brothers stating, it was during COVID, and what happened is they were trying to raise funds to manage the Food for Life program. So he gave class we used to have a Zoom class, and at the end of it, so he asked me, he said, it was the last Purushottam month came just before Kartik, a couple of weeks before. And so then I said, okay, we will sponsor a couple of weeks of the Food for Life. And so then he says, when do you want us to do it? I said, well, Kartik is an auspicious month. He says, well, why don't you do it in month of Purushottam? And I asked him the question, which is most auspicious? In which month do you get most benefit? Like, I'm a businessman. I want a maximum amount of return for the minimum amount of input. Right? Isn't that we all want the same thing? We all want shortcuts. And within the shortcut, we want another shortcut. So now, you'll see the reason I'm telling you this here. So I wanted to know, okay, if I'm sponsoring and if you're giving me 2 special months, so which month? So I asked him the question is, which month is better for me to sponsor the feast? Because I'm going to do it anyway, so why not make the maximum amount of benefit for it? So we'll come to that. So at the end of this class, I myself found out more information about the month of Purushottam thanks to the devotees and the management of Brisbane Bhakti Yoga Society. Our class starts off with Srimad Bhagavatam 12:12:50. To save time, I'll just do the translation bit. And the translation of the Srimad Bhagavatam 12:12:50 is, those words describing the glories of the all-famous personality of Godhead are attractive, relishable, and ever fresh. Indeed, such words are perpetual festivals of the mind, and they dry the ocean of misery. So, those of us who know Kartik, and we've been, it's quite famous, and every year we look forward to Kartik. And the more we hear about Kartik stories, the more enlivened we are. So, that, it's, I was wondering, how is it that we love Kartik so much, that we don't get bored with that story, and the more we hear, the more we want to hear. And this verse ties it up very nicely, because it's ever fresh. Every time we hear it, it's fresh, and it gives us a new feeling of appreciation for this verse. So, effectively, the verses of and the Srimad Bhagavatam, every time you hear it, every time you read Bhagavatam, you can read the same verse for the rest of your life, and every day you read it, you get a new realization and you get new happiness from it. So unlike in the material, Prabhupada give the good example is, if you say the word Coca-Cola, 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 after a couple of hours there is no relation. But devotees have been chanting for decades, every day, for at least 2 hours, the Maha Mantra. And it's ever fresh and it's always tasteful. And so is the Leela of the Lord. The pastime of the Lord is always fresh and it's increasing. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying, this ocean of bhakti has no limits, no banks on any side, and has no depth. This ocean of bhakti. But the amazing thing about that, although it got no limits, it's ever increasing. So bhakti is like that. So bhakti yoga, the reason I said it is because we in bhakti yoga, we are not in any other yoga, we are bhakti yoga followers. We're following Bhakti Devi. And this entire class follows the route or the footsteps of bhakti. And that's our entire focus, our entire life is focused on bhakti alone. The other thing is, it's ever relishable. All right? It's ever fresh, ever relishable. And indeed, it's a perpetual festival of the mind. It's always joyful. Raja Vijaya, Raja Goyam. Right? It's always enjoyable. It's always happy. It's always joyful. And the moment that Krishna consciousness stops being joyful, we need to take a step backwards and see what is it that's stopping the joy from coming in. There's a blockage somewhere. I remember once Prabhupada said to one of his disciples, no matter how busy you are in service, if that service loses its taste, you drop that service, you take your beads, go in front of the deities and you chant a bit. Because there's something we are doing wrong, and then analyze it, and then you start feeling the taste, the ruchi again. And here's the last part, the best part of all. It dries up the ocean of misery. So our life is not just a droplet of misery. It's not just a pond of misery. It's an ocean of misery. And the amazing thing about the ocean of misery, it also has no ends. It's endless. It's bottomless. And it's ever increasing. So just like Bhakti Yoga is the other ocean, we choose to be in this ocean of misery. It is by choice. It's our decisive choice to be here. And we're caught up in this rat race. Continuously, we just birth, old age, disease and death, birth, old age, disease and death. You know, that reminds me, what does B-O-D-Y stands for? B for body. Right? O for old age. D for disease. And Y for? Yamuraj. So that is what this body is meant for. It is manufactured for misery. It is manufactured for misery. And then, but the Lord decides, listen, we are His children. So why should we suffer like that? He hates to see us suffering. He doesn't want to see us suffering. So He makes opportunities for us to get out of the suffering. To get out of this misery, ocean of misery. Right? And now the other thing is that it dries up the ocean of misery. Lord Ramachandra said, I'll build a bridge to cross over the ocean of misery. Lord Krishna says, my Krishna Leela, I'll dry up that ocean. I'll dry up this ocean of misery. Make sense? So that's how powerful this bhakti is. Bhakti yoga is so powerful. Right? It is so powerful. Bhakti is such a powerful word. It can dry up the ocean of misery. So what we are doing is that we are here and we are born at a very opportune time. You know, on the 27th Chakti Yuga, where Lord Krishna himself comes. And it's such a rare opportunity. Once in a day of Brahma, we get an opportunity to go back to Golok Vrindavan. And so yogis and great sages take birth in this time in order to take an opportunity of this time to go back home, back to Godhead, because otherwise the rest of the 1999 Chati Yugas, we can go, the furthest we can go is Vaikuntha. So it's got a shortcut. In the Kali Yuga we are born. It's such a just in this lifetime, just doing a few things. And what do? We have a festival of the mind. We chant, we take feast. And this is austerity we perform in the Kali Yuga to go back home, not even back to Vaikuntha. And great yogis and sages, they perform great, huge austerity and penances, right, just to get a glimpse of a ray of light that comes from the toenail of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, of Mahavishnu. So we got an opportunity now, such a wonderful opportunity, in such a short space of time, so easily to go back to Godhead. But here's a conundrum. We're still within the shortcut. We're looking for another shortcut. Isn't that right? So these verses of Bhagavatam, they're meant for what? To glorify the Supreme Person of Godhead. But let's put it this way. Those verses, those shlokas, when they are there to glorify the Supreme Person of Godhead, by that they are glorified themselves. Make sense? They are there. They are what they know as shlokas. But because they used to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead, those verses become glorified. Just like when the Lord uses jewels, the jewels don't beautify the Lord. The Lord beautifies those jewels. So these slokas, they beautify the Supreme. These slokas are beautified because they are there to beautify the Supreme Lord. So then, there are 18 Puranas, right? 6 for the mode of ignorance, 6 for the mode of passion, and 6 for the mode of goodness. But we go above that. We go for Uttama Shloka. We transcend even those as well in the modes of. So we have got a shortcut. We've got the highest level, and we glorify the Lord with Uttama Shloka. The highest. Uttama means the highest glorification, highest. Now the point is that we glorify the Lord, and these verses are called Uttama because they're highest. And who are they there to glorify? These Uttama Shlokas, who are they? Their whole intent is to glorify Purushottama, and that brings us to the class today. So Krishna is Purushottama. Puru means the highest, the male, the highest personality, the highest person. And Uttama, Purushottama. So effectively, we have today's class, we're going to talk about Purushottama, the highest, the topmost personality. But Purushottam, the Lord is always Purushottam. No matter what he does, where he comes, what incarnation he comes as Purushottama. In Lord Ramachandra's pastimes, what he was called? Maryada Purushottam. Maryada Purushottam. And then in Krishna's pastimes, in the Treta Yuga, he came as Lord Ramachandra as Maryada Purushottam. In the Dwarka Yuga, he came as Krishna as Leela Purushottam. And in Kali Yuga, Prema Purushottam. Is giving what? Distributing what? Bhakti. So welcome to Bhakti Yoga. Brisbane, everybody. Jai Srila Prabhupada. So now brings us to the point. So the other thing about Purushottam, in every Leela and in every incarnation, the Lord is known as Purushottam. But even the Lord's Dham is known as Purushottam Dham. Right? Aksha Purushottam Dham. Which Dham is that? Anybody knows? Jagannath Puri Dham. So I thought I'll spend 2 minutes, because this week has been Rath Yatra. We'll speak of Jagannath, Lord Jagannath. Jagannath Puri, Purushottam Dham. So what happens is, this Dham is so special that even when there's dissolution, that Dham does not dissolve. The whole earth. How many Manus are there in a day of Lord Brahma? In one day of Lord Brahma? Yes, you know. No, very close. Yes, somebody was right there. It's 14. So that makes it 1,000 divided by 14 becomes 71.5. So each Lord Indra or each Lord Manu, reigns for 71 Chatya Yugas. Each Chatya Yuga is 4.3 million years. Correct? Right? And what happens is, when the time comes where at the end there's dissolution. The earth is full, the whole universe, actually right up to Lord Indra's planet. Up to Lord Indra's planet is filled with water. It's just gone to dissolution. Because the end of Lord Brahma's day, which is 1,000, so then it comes to Lord Brahma's night. Lord Brahma sleeps for 12 hours, and when he sleeps for 12 hours, it's another 4.3 billion years, and so dissolution is there. Right up to Lord Brahma's, Lord Indra's planet is all dissolved. And then when Lord Brahma gets up in the morning, then recreation is there again. Am I correct so far? So now the thing is that, why I said that is to come to Lord, so at one such dissolution, there was Makandya Rishi. Makandya Rishi was blessed with the benediction that he will not die for 7 kalpas. Each kalpa is 1,000 Chatya Yugas. So at the end of that one kalpa, Makandya Rishi was floating in this cosmos ocean, being thrown by the waves of time. And he's thinking, you know what, why did I ask for this? Why was I benedicted with such a long life? I'm suffering like anything, terrible, So a long life may not be good enough, but a good life may be long enough. You utilize your time in this time right now properly, you don't need to live for 1,000 years and perform austerity. What you can do in this 100 years, even yogis that performs thousands of years of sacrifice are not able to achieve. That's Bhakti Yoga power. So the thing is that now Makanda Rishi was floating in this thing, and he was not very happy because he was not comfortable. And then he saw on a water patra, a leaf a banyan leaf. He saw a baby lying on the patra. And so then spoke to him and told him, come take residence, I'll give you residence in this dam. That is Purushottam Dam. Because when the dissolution was there, the Lord's abode does not get dissolved. Because the Lord's abode is eternal as well. And Purushottam Dam is the Lord's personal abode. Nilakanta. Because Lila Madhava was there before. So even Jagannath Puri is so powerful that even at the end of 1,000 years, 1,000 yugas, it doesn't dissolve like the rest of this planetary system. So technically speaking, what I'm saying is the Lord, his pastimes and his abode is eternal. And the associates of the Lord is also eternal. So that being said, then there's a little verse that I wanted to glorify. It's Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, 18. Again, I'll leave the sloka out and I'll just go for the translation. It says, because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and infallible, and because I am the greatest, I'm celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as the Supreme Person, Purushottam. So, the Lord, it's a very nice verse, I thought I'd mention that. So that brings us to the story of this wonderful month. So one day what happened in the sages of Namasharanya was sitting when Shuddha Goswami came, and we're looking, I think it was 16,000 sages were sitting there? 88,000. So they were sitting, and then Shuddha Goswami came, and then Janaka Rishi asked Shuddha Goswami about many subject matters. And at the climax, Shuddha Goswami said, speak to us some glories that Harikatha, by Harikatha we can be uplifted very quickly. So he said, you tell me so many stories we can answer, but I want something that's shortcut. Speak to me some story that he is going to uplift us very quickly. So that I want to know the topmost. Leave all that now. We spoke about all things. The formalities are done. Tell me the topmost. I want to know the secret of the shortest cut. So then, what happened? Shuddha Goswami said, "Oh, very nice question." And what he did was he said, "I'll speak to you all about this one history when Narada Muni went to Narayan, and he asked the same question. Narada Muni asking." Give me some kata that can purify me. Narada Muni want to be purified. Come on. But he asked Narayan for some kata. So Narayan said, oh, very nice class. And he said, okay, I will tell you about an history where Lord Krishna spoke to Yudhishthira Maharaj. So this is how spiritual knowledge is handed down. What I'm telling you, I've got from many devotees. I didn't manufacture, I didn't create, I didn't turn it, I'm just passing it on. It is free knowledge. So just like that as well, Janaka Rishi asked Shuddha Goswami. Shuddha Goswami said, I'll tell you about Narayan. Narayan said, okay, I'll tell you about when Krishna was telling this to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And then Krishna was telling Yudhishthira Maharaj about a pastime that happened prior to that. So this is how spiritual knowledge is handed down. So whatever we're saying, we're not manufacturing, we don't create. We just take it like a ripened fruit and hand it down. And sometimes we are very lucky, is that it goes through great Vaishnavas who can churn it down and give us nectar of it. Because as Kali Yuga is progressing, we don't have the mental capacity or the ability to understand the vastness of the knowledge. So then, like, if you're looking at the Veda Vyas came in and he gave us the essence. So physically what happens is that as we get it, it becomes more and more sweet and more delectable, more relishable, more understandable. So therefore, taking these classes down is so, hearing these classes to Guru Parampara is so important. So anyway, Krishna, so Narada was telling the story to Narada Rishi that, see, Krishna went to see the Pandavas. They were banished and they were living in Kamyavan, in Vrindavan. So they lost the palace. Draupadi was derobed. They lost the kingdom. They even lost themselves. And they were living as ascetics in the forest of Kamyavan. So when Krishna came, so they were praying, they were struggling, it was very hard. Imagine a king now is living like this. So what happened is, when they were living like that, so Krishna came, and when he saw them living like that, Krishna got very upset. So Krishna said, I am so upset, I'm so angry, I want to destroy the whole universe. So Krishna was so angry that his devotees were being harmed in such a way, that he decided, I am going to dissolve this entire universe. So Yudhishthira said, no, please don't do that. Don't destroy the universe, but destroy our sufferings within our heart. Don't destroy the suffering of miseries within our heart. So then Krishna got pleased by that, and he said, okay, I will tell you a very special story. And he says, I'll tell you a very special story. I'll speak something very interesting to you. So then Krishna was telling them about a story. So Krishna started off with this. So what happened in the dawn of creation, the astrology is such a way, is that we as Vaishnavas follow the lunar calendar. And then there's a solar calendar. So solar calendar progresses, 365 days a year. And every 4 years, you get an extra day to fill the gap. This is to fill the gap. But the lunar calendar goes for 354 days. It goes for 354 days, the lunar calendar. So effectively, there's a lot of TTs, and there's 12 months in the lunar calendar as well. But because there's a 11-day gap in each year, in a solar year, there's a 11-day gap. After 2.5 to 3 years, there's a huge gap between the solar and the lunar calendar. So in order to bridge that gap, what happened is the Lord created an extra month. So before I come to that month, I'll tell you what happened. Another very interesting story. So Lord Nishringadev, we'll come back to Lord Nishringadev. So Hiranyakashipu got the boon that you will not be killed in the hair, in the ground. Everyone knows the story. Is anybody who doesn't know it? So I'll go very quickly because you'll know it. I won't be killed at night, I won't be killed in the day. I won't be killed outside, I won't be killed inside. I won't be killed by an animal, I won't be killed by a human. I won't be killed by weapons, so forth. So he thought basically he's got it all fixed up. And then the Padma Purana has, the Nishinga Purana has one more that they mention, is that Hiranyakashipu asked, I won't be killed in the 12 months of the year. I won't be killed in the 12 months of the year. So Lord Rama said, tush to, so be it. Now, the thing is that when it came to that time where Hiranyakashipu was being killed by Lord Nishringadev, so he said, hey, Lord Nishringadev, you can't kill me. He said, so Nishringadev said, why? He said, because I can't be killed by an animal or a human. Nishringadev said, okay, look carefully. So he said, oh, you know what? I can't be killed during the day or at night. Nishringadev said, check the time. It was neither morning nor night. So then he said, I can't be killed on the ground or in the air. Lord Nishringadev said, all right, come on my lap. I won't be killed by a weapon, and I won't be killed, what's the other one? I won't be killed by a weapon. So Nishringadev used his nails. It's neither a weapon. I won't be killed by a demigod or a human. He said, I'm neither that. So everything that he said, Lord Nishringadev is super intelligence. That's his superpower. And he was able to fulfill every benediction and still outwit Hiranyakashipu. So then he grabbed Hiranyakashipu and he said, but I won't be killed in any of the months of the year. So now here's a conundrum, how to do that. There's 12 months in the year, and how do you kill somebody who's not in the 12 months of the year? So Lord Nishringadev appeared in the month of Purushottam. Lord Nishringadev appeared in the month of Purushottam. So Hiranyakashipu is very much like our false ego. And if we follow this Purushottam month very nicely, then Lord Nishringadev will come and kill that false ego within our heart. He will manifest, he will take birth, and he will manifest in this month of Purushottam. He has the ability to do that in the month of Purushottam. Hopefully, time permitting, I'll read some things out for a tendency point of view. So even in this month of Purushottam, Lord Nrsingadev took birth. Or appeared, sorry, not took birth, appeared. So then anyway, came back to that. So this this extra month was created by the will of providence. But it was called Adhik Mas. And Adhik Mas is very inauspicious. Has no auspicious tithis in the month. There's nothing good about the month. It's considered to be untouchable, like stool. Like stool. It's called, it was also called Malmas. Malmas because it's, very inauspicious. Mal means inauspicious. And Adhik Mas means, extra. So another extra month that came in there. But so all the months and all other personalities didn't want to have anything to do with this month. So they ridiculed her as a female. And when they got together, they ostracized her. They didn't want to have anything to do with her. They told her low class. And she was really suffering a lot. And she couldn't handle it, so she wanted to commit suicide. So she went to Lord Brahma and said, Lord Brahma, you know what, this is a situation. So Lord Brahma was perplexed. You are very important. You have to be there. But the point is that, nobody, like from a karma kanda point of view, it's a very inauspicious month because there's no fruitive activities one can get by performing any rituals in this month. You can't have a wedding. You can't have any samskaras in this month. It's a very inauspicious month. So being so inauspicious, nobody wanted to touch her. As much as like stool, considered to be like that. So imagine that. You're sitting with all the Vaishnavas here and everyone's just leaving you alone. They want to talk to you and they're all ridiculing you and they're laughing at you. Nobody even wanted to marry her. So she felt terrible. She felt so bad, And so then she went to Lord Brahma and she told Lord Brahma, this is my situation. My father, you got to help me out. So Brahma said, I don't know what to do. So, all right, let's go and ask Mahavishnu. So they went to Mahavishnu. Lord Brahma took this Adhik Mas to Lord Vishnu. So went to Lord Vishnu saying, so he was also saying, it's something I don't know what to do as well. This is Lord Vishnu saying. So I don't know what to do, so let's do one thing. Let's go and ask the top boss, the big boss. So then, at that time, Lord Vishnu took Lord Brahma and Adhik Mas and went to Golok Vrindavan. And it says, as he was approaching Golok Vrindavan, Adhik Mas' heart became very happy because everything was so bright and effulgent and beautiful. As she was approaching, and it's a vast distance, and as she was approaching, she could see Golok Vrindavan to be absolutely beautiful. So when she got, just when she got to Lord Vishnu and Lord Brahma was explaining a situation, so she started crying. She was crying so much that she fainted, that to the extent that Garuda had to fan her to bring her back. And then Vishnu says, nobody cries here. Nobody cries in Vaikuntha. If you cry at all, you cry because of great love. But you cry because of great misery. So, Lord Vishnu felt very bad, so he took her to Lord Krishna. He went to Lord Krishna, and as he went to Lord Krishna, now, one thing amazed me is what happened when Lord Vishnu went to Lord Krishna's abode. So, it's amazing because I didn't expect that when I read it. What happened is Lord Vishnu paid respects to Lord Krishna. He paid respects to Lord Krishna and he stood very still, right? In an humble position. So that will show you that, the level of Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna, the original personality of Godhead. And then after narrating what the situation, the conundrum that they're in, Lord Krishna said, first to Lord Vishnu, because you brought it to me, may your glories, he blessed Lord Vishnu. May your glories increase. Lord Krishna blessed Lord Vishnu, may your glories increase because you brought them to me. But then what happened is, then Krishna said to Adhik Mas, that I will accept you I'm going to read this a few things here because of a tendency point of view. Krishna said, I will accept you as your master and your prominence will be me. So Krishna, immediately, so what Krishna is? Krishna is there is the most merciful, for the most fallen. Right? Patita Pavan. Patita Pavan Krishna is known as. So, one yogi is saying, you know what? I'm the most fallen. Because I'm the most fallen, I should be the recipient of your greatest mercy. If you cannot give me your mercy, then give up your name. Why be called Patita Pavan if you cannot save the most fallen, which is me? Even Jaga and Mada is better than me. So, Patita Pavan Krishna, so most fallen of the devotees who are us in the Kali Yuga, Krishna is giving us the best, the highest amount of mercy. Then Lord Krishna said, I will give you, and then immediately Krishna said, I will give, as so much so I'll give you my name. So Lord Krishna gave her his name, Purushottam. And then she got the name as Purushottam. Now wait, that's not all. So when you go to Krishna, Krishna will give you what you ask for, and so much more. So then he says, and Krishna's crying, said, I am so low that nobody wants to marry you. And Krishna says, I will marry you. So I was a bit surprised because in Golok Vrindavan, Krishna, I never heard of Krishna getting married. I know in Dwarka and Mathura, Krishna getting married. But this is Golok Vrindavan. Krishna says, I will accept you as my wife. Nobody, I don't think anyone else was married to Krishna officially there. There was a couple of mock marriages, to Tulsi Devi and stuff like that. And there's also a nice story about when Brahma stole all the coward damsels. And when they stole the coward, quickly I'll cover that. So when Lord Brahma stole a coward damsel, the Masa came and said to everyone, the residents, at that time Krishna manifested himself as all the cows and all the gopis. So when Brahma stole all the residents of Vrindavan, all the gopas, then Purnamasi said it's a good time for marriage. So within that 1 year, all the gopis got married to the gopas. So they had the wishes fulfilled. Everyone who wanted Krishna as their husband got Krishna as their husband during that 1 year. So on back to the story. So then he said that I will marry you, and whatever is mine will be yours. Right? So, and Krishna says, I will be the Prananath of this month. I will be the Prananath, the Lord of this month. Right? All my opulence is, and all my opulence and wonderful glories of this month will be yours. All my opulence and glories will be yours. And then this is the thing that I was surprised about, because I asked the same question, which month is better for me to sponsor the Food for Life? And in Padma Purana, these stories are from the Padma Purana and Skanda Purana. It says that this month of Purushottam is 1,000 times more beneficial than month of Kartik. 1,000 times more beneficial than month of Kartik. Shocked. I thought, wow, in the month of Kartik, whatever you do is multiplied 1,000 times. So therefore in the month of Kartik, we do so many programs, so many, inviting the Vaishnavas and going for programs, doing classes. We offer lamp and we feed the Vaishnavas. If you do it in the month of Kartik, month of Purushottam, you can get 1,000 times more benefit. And if anyone is smart here, they will approach Prabhu quickly and also offer sponsor the next 4 weeks of the Saturday feast. I'm giving you that from Skanda Purana. Whatever it is, remember, normal time, Kartik month is everything is 1,000 becomes 100,000. And now if you do in Purushottam and the same 1,000 becomes 1 million, right? So, smart people, ding, 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 shortcuts, businessmen in the house. all austerities, all performances will become complete. In this month of Kartik, a month of Purushottam, whatever you do, whatever studies, whatever performance you do will become complete. If you do not follow the month of Kartik, the vrat of the month of Purushottam, then whatever performance, whatever bhakti, whatever you do on this process will not become complete. You can do everything for the rest of the year, but if you fail to worship this month, you will not become complete. Now, how did we come to this? This part is, when Lord Krishna was speaking to the Yudhishthira and the Pandavas, The Pandavas want to know is why are we in this miserable condition? So Krishna said the reason that you all are suffering in this miserable condition, you lost everything. The reason you lost everything is because you failed to honor the month of Purushottam. Many Purushottam months came by and you didn't honor the month of Purushottam. And as a result, no matter what other pious activities you have done, you lost the merits of everything because you did not observe the month of Purushottam. So Krishna is telling all this. So now Krishna is narrating to the Pandavas this story, how powerful is the month of Purushottam and the negative effect of not taking this month seriously. How much you have to lose. You lose everything, all your pious merits, all your punyas, all your sacrifices, all your performances become null and void if you do not worship this month or perform vrati in this month. Anyone follows? And then it says, now listen to this, anyone who follows this month will come back to me in this lifetime. Shortcut. How many of you want to be happy while you're alive over here? Enjoy life to the fullest. Right. How many of you, while enjoying life and having a great life, at the end of this life want to go back to Golok Vrindavan? Then Purushottam month is for you. Purushottam month is for you. Because the shortcut of all shortcuts. If you follow the month of Purushottam, whatever you do in this month of Purushottam will guarantee you a happy life in this lifetime. And I'll come to it another one where Krishna says, at the end of this life, Krishna will grab your hand and he'll take you back to Golok Vrindavan. The Purana says that. You won't have to try anything. Krishna will come and grab your hand and take you back to Golok Vrindavan. Just by performing the vrat of this Purushottam month. Okay, and then to come to Golok Vrindavan is very difficult. If a person respects you as being mine, I will catch his hand and drag him back in this month. I'll just mention that. That even if you don't want to go to Krishna, if you do some punya or some pious activities, sponsor some feast, serve the Vaishnavas, offer lamp in this month, Krishna will come and hold you and he'll take you back to Godhead. That's the power of this month. Who wants it? So this month, he says, is identical with me. Krishna says all his powers, he will invest all his powers in this month. All his Shakti he will invest in this month. And then one thing I've read as well. Krishna says, he who surrenders to me in this month, I will surrender to them. Wow. Then Lord Krishna's benedicts this month. He benedicts this month, right? Again, I'm going to read this here for a tendency point of view. Just as I am celebrated in this world by the name Purushottam, similarly, this Adimas too will be renowned in the world by the name Purushottam. Now I offer my qualities to this month. Becoming like me, from today onwards, this Hadimash is the monarch of all other months and is the most worshipable among the most adorned in the world. So he's the king of all the months. From that day, Krishna said, you are the monarch. You're not no more lower than stool. Imagine from that. Now you come the monarch. All other months, you're the king of all kings, So, all other months are sakama. That is that they will grant worldly desires. This month, however, is nishkama. Those who worship in this month, either with or without desires. Those who worship in this month, even if you have desires, you worship the Lord. And if you don't have desires, you worship the Lord, right? And if you got all types of desires, in this month, if you worship the Lord, akama, right, will have all the karmas burnt, and they will achieve me. Krishna in this month is prepared to burn all your karmas. Now, let's put this into perspective. Do you know our karma, our punya, or our karma, we call it? Do you know the magnitude of it? Anybody knows how big it is? Each of our karmas, if we had to take a bundle of it, do you know what the size of it, the magnitude of it? Right, so effectively, to put it into perspective, the Himalayan mountain is huge. Absolutely, it's about the biggest mountain. It can be seen from space. Compared to the Meru mountain, the Himalayan mountain is like a mustard seed. Anybody heard about the Meru mountain? Right? So imagine how big the Meru mountain is if it dwarfs our Himalayan mountain to look like a mustard seed in front of it. And Radharani Maharaj says, if you take the Meru mountain and put it next to your karma, it will make your karma look like a mustard seed. So that's the karma we've accumulated and continue accumulating. But what Krishna says, surrender unto me and I'll protect you from all sinful reactions. Sarva dharma parichatam. So in this lifetime, how we can't cross over this ocean of misery. It's huge, it's humongous, it's bankless. But just by performing bhakti yoga, this entire ocean of misery becomes the size of a calf's footprints. Why even calf? Why not a cow? Because it's even smaller than a cow. That's how small it is. So this month of Purushottam, Krishna says, I'll burn off all that karma. So it's not a small feat at all. Right? The sooner we get rid of our karma, the sooner we'll go back home, back to Godhead. I repeat, the sooner we burn off our karma, the sooner we go back home, back to Godhead. And Krishna is willing to waiver that. He's willing to waiver that. So, the next one. My bhaktas sometimes commit offenses, but in this Purushottam month, they will be protected from committing any offenses. In this Adimash, those greatly foolish persons who neglect to perform auspicious activities such as japa, giving in charity, visiting and bathing at the holy places, were envious of the dvijas, which is brahmanas, are deemed wicked. Unfortunate and living at the cost of others. So those who don't perform this month are considered to be wicked and living at the expense of others. Thus they will not attain a scent of happiness, whiff of happiness. If you do not follow this month, forget it. You're not even going to smell happiness, not even a scent of it. That's what the verse says. Not even a whiff of happiness you're going to see in this lifetime and on the next. Even in I'll repeat part of that. Not even smell a whiff of happiness, even in the dreams. Even in the dreams, even when they're not in the dreams, they won't even have the opportunity, right? Conversely, those who are filled with bhakti will take advantage of this Purushottam month to perform archana to me. After enjoying worldly happiness, such as wealth, sons, and so on, they will eventually attain residence in Goloka. Right? So then Krishna said, you become the husband, this month is most powerful to me. And it says, unless you follow Purushottam month, you cannot perform pure devotion, service of bhakti to me. Forget bhakti yoga. You cannot, if you do not follow Purushottam month, there's no opportunity for following bhakti to me, according to Lord Krishna. He made that promise to month of Purushottam, that even if my bhakta says, my bhakta, if he doesn't follow vrata in your month, it'll be useless. In all the other Puranas, I told you, the 18 that was there, unless you're full and you reach perfection, whatever you did on the path is wasted. In all the other Puranas, whatever you do, unless you achieve the highest perfection, all the process that you did, everything you did, all the endeavor you did is worthless. And then when you receive perfection on one, you have to go to the next one and go upwards. But in Bhakti Yoga, there is no loss. There's absolutely no loss. Okay, I'll be faster now. Okay, so just as Krishna is the supreme among all incarnations, Purushottam is the supreme of all holy ones. I think I won't read the rest of it. So how do we? So then Draupadi said, "Listen, I understand the Pandavas, boys, they didn't do anything, but what for me? I am suffering against anything. I was derobed. So why is my put in this position?" And Krishna said, "Oh, wait, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you." So then Krishna narrated, "I got a story about you. In your previous life, you was the daughter of Maydevi, a great Maydevi Rishi, a great Rishi. And when you were very young, your mother passed away. And your father was so engrossed in chanting and following the Bhakti Yoga that he forgot to get you married. And now that your father has left his body, she started, she started praying for mercy. And Maydevi's dearest friend was Durvasa Muni. So Durvasa Muni is a colorful character. He loves cursing. Anybody knows why? He is the incarnation of Lord Shiva. And not even just an ordinary incarnation of Lord Shiva. What happened one day, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva had a disagreement. We'll put it lightly like that. And Lord Shiva was extremely upset. That Parvati herself said, I can't live with this man. He's becoming impossible to live with. Parvati said. And Lord Shiva, what he decided to do, he decided, I need to get rid of this anger. And so he took that, Lord Shiva is known as Ashatosh. Easily pleased and easily angered. So he took that anger and he put it in, what's her name? Atra Rishi's, Anasuya's womb. Anasuya. Right? Anasuya and Atra Rishi. And then Durvasa Muni was born of Anasuya and Atra Rishi. And if you mess with Durvasa Muni, trust me, even Lord Krishna he cursed. Many times. So he was the one who cursed Krishna to be killed by these arrows. Because Krishna's son acted as he was pregnant, and so he put a metal ball and he said, oh, that's a metal ball. Anyway, that's another story. But he cursed Ambarish Maharaj. But it came back for him. Because Vaishnavas, don't mess with a Vaishnava. Krishna said, let him know. You ask anybody who knows about offending a Vaishnava, ask Durvasa, he knows. So like that, Durvasa Muni is a very colorful character. So very easily angered as well. And so, Durvasa Muni came to this young girl and said, listen, so when Durvasa Muni came, she served Durvasa Muni very nicely. And she said, Durvasa Muni said, I know your father passed away, what can I do? He says, I'm terribly miserable. My father passed away without getting me married. All my friends got married, but I'm not got married. I haven't got a suitable husband. I want to get married because a woman that is not married doesn't have a very happy life. Maybe those days were more than now, but nevertheless. So Durvasa Muni said, oh, why you want a worldly husband? Why you want a worldly husband? In 2 months from now, there's a month called Purushottam month is coming. And in the month of Purushottam, if you follow Vrat, you can get the Supreme Personality of God as your husband. So then this girl said, this Hati Mas, Mal Mas, so inauspicious month, there's nothing auspicious about this month. It's such an untouchable month. Durvasa, be serious, come on. So now Durvasa Muni got very upset. Then he said, was very angry. And Durvasa Muni doesn't take him much. At one time when the Pandavas were in the forest, and Duryodhana, after serving Durvasa, sent him with the 16,000 disciples to go and take Prashadam with the Pandavas. And the Draupadi and them were all scared. Because there's no food in the forest, how are you going to serve 16,000 people a good opulent feast? So Durvasa Muni, everyone gets scared for Durvasa Muni. Everyone's on the top behavior in front of him. Right? So, but this girl, she was young, she was a very beautiful girl. And so Durvasa said, I will not curse you because you are the daughter of my dearest friend. And because you're suffering already. But because you neglected the month, or you don't have the value for Purushottam month, then you will never have a husband and you lose all your beauty. All your opulence, all your beauty will be gone. So she's saying, oh my dear Durvasa, I got no husband, I got no father, I got no one in the world. The only one I got is you, and I pray to you and you come and curse me now. Oh, what is going to be my plight? This is unfair. Come on, do something. He said, Tata, so it's been said, it's been done. But if you want some mercy, you pray to Lord Shiva. So she lost her youth, she lost her beauty, she lost the ability to get a husband, right? And now, so she went to perform austerity, but for a very short time. It said very short time because Lord Shiva is Ashatosh. He gets pleased very fast. So Lord Shiva came, and when she saw Lord Shiva, she looked at Shiva, oh Shiva, she got excited, she got so excited, she said, I want a husband, I want a husband, I want a husband, I want a husband, I want a husband. So Lord Shiva said, all right, Tatastu, you'll have 5 husbands. Oh, I don't want 5 husbands. Everyone laugh at me, if I have 5 husbands, what's going to be my plight? I don't want 5 husbands. 1 will be sufficient. He said, no, I've already said you're going to have 5 husbands. So be it. And he said, let me tell you, there's no difference between me and Durvasa. We are the same. We are non-different, Lord Shiva told her. And so she said, she said, you know what, and in this lifetime you won't have an husband, but you will have 5 husbands. So she was distraught. And so what happened is, she immediately performed some penances and she left her body. Leaving her body, she took birth again in the fire of Drupada. There was yagya happening and she took birth of the fire as Draupadi, the daughter of Drupada. So she took birth as Draupadi. And then she got the 5 husbands. Everybody knows the 5 husbands, right? The 5 sons of Pandava. So she got the 5 husbands. And then she said, but why am I suffering? He said, because you offended the month of Purushottam. So please everyone, don't offend the month of Purushottam. Anybody doubts that Purushottam give you the glories that Lord Krishna promised? Don't anybody put their hand up. Because if you doubt it, even if you doubt it like Draupadi did, then all your opulence will be lost. All your punya will be lost. So you have firm faith that this month will produce the results that it has. So Krishna told to Draupadi that this happened because you doubted the month. You didn't even offend the month, you just spoke like that. So this is how powerful this month is, that that if you perform lightly, you get so many positive benefits. You'll enjoy life, a full, fruitful life in this lifetime. And at the end of this life, you go back to Golok Vrindavan. No other process, no other opportunity that I've come across can benedict you with that. No one else. I wanted to read a few things that have been, there's a lot. So how one should perform, very quickly, 2 things is what we should do in this month of Purushottam. We should reside in an holy place, come to the temple, this is an holy place. Make your house a temple, and make your heart a temple. So if you can't go to the holy dhams, bring the holy dham to you. Right? You got to listen to holy katha in this month of Purushottam. These are mentioned. You recite and you sing different prayers, like what we just did in the beginning. There's one of the very nice prayers. You glorify the Lord in Vrindavan pastimes. So sing nice bhajans. My bhajans during this month. You read chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita, Purushottam Yoga. Thank you. You give in charity. You give in charity to qualified brahmanas, serve the cows, and distribute prasadam. So, again, there's only 4 Saturday feasts coming up. Take advantage of anyone that's smart. So you sing a lot of bhajan, chant the holy name. So chanting is important. So increase your chanting. Some people double, triple, and quadruple their chanting during Kartik. Probably this as well will be nice. So the more you chant, the more opportunity you got, the more you please the Lord, more vrat you perform, and the more you guarantee your trip back home, that Krishna will come grab your hand and take you at the end of this life. Back to Golok Vrindavan, not to Vaikuntha, Golok Vrindavan, the highest abode. You offer obeisances more to Krishna. So if you pay obeisance morning and afternoon, the more obeisances you offer, as many obeisances, offer ghee lamp. So while we offer ghee lamp in the month of Kartik, we offer ghee lamp morning and afternoon, or even at least once a day. Offer ghee lamp in the month of Purushottam. We serve the Vaishnavas. Vaishnava service is important. We serve the Vaishnavas. We speak Harikatha. We do book distribution. Distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. This is very important. We practice Brahmacharya celibacy for this month. If you can help it, sleep on the floor. Right? No gossip, no prajalpa. At least for this 1 month. Give up, if you can, give up something very tasty to the tongue. Offer that to the Lord. Something very tasty to the tongue, something you like to do, something you enjoy doing. You offer that to the Lord. Maybe the boys want to offer their screens to the Lord for the month. Right? You can fast half day, fast full day, or you can, then during the month there's 2 Ekadashis. Follow to the best of your ability. Follow with nice austerity without, overexerting yourself within your health capacity. Worship Tulsi Maharani. Offer Tulsi leaves to the Lord. That's a very big one. Worship Tulsi Maharani, offer Tulsi leaves to the Lord. That's very, very nice during the month of Purushottam. So Tulsi Devi and is also Bhakti Devi. Right? So this month is extra special to worship. You get a lot of bhakti from that. Following your fasting days, like Ekadashi, right? Do not blaspheme devotees. Do not blaspheme devotees. Do not blaspheme devotees, Shastra, Brahmins, cows, saints, and one observing Purushottam month. So you increase your chanting, you increase your hearing, you worship Radha Krishna with flowers such as lotuses and roses and tulsi leaves, right? Offering 100,000 tulsi leaves bestows unlimited merits beyond the powers of even Brahma to describe. So that's a lot of tulsis, but nevertheless. Offer ghee lamp. And then, so I think I'll just be another minute. I just want to read something about what great personalities said about this month, if I can find it. So this month is very, very special month. It's extremely auspicious. It's accepted in all Shastra. Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur spoke very extensively about this month. He glorified this month very extensively, and he showed the power and the prominence of this month in quite a bit. So, any questions or comments? Oh, I must have lost everyone. I must have lost everyone. Nobody.
Just one question.
Yes. I must check the calendar, but I think it's the middle of July. We've got a month to prepare. 18 July. Yes. So 18 July, countdown. You've got a month to prepare. So it'll be very nice if we can follow this month very nicely to the best of our ability. And take full advantage of this opportunity, do more katha, more distribution of books. Any other questions? Okay, so then I'll just read about a few devotees very quickly. Is it all right, 5 minutes? About a few devotees, what they had to say about the month. So Durvasha Muni pronounced, just by bathing just by bathing in the holy rivers during Purushottam month, one becomes sinless. Just by bathing. In fact, it says bathing once in the Ganga in the month of Purushottam, it's like bathing 16,000 times for 16,000 years in Ganga in the month of Purushottam. Giving charity and chanting and the holy names during the month of Purushottam, all miseries are destroyed. One attains all kinds of perfections and fulfills his desires. Valmiki Muni remarks, by observing Purushottam Vrata, one attains more benefit than performing 100,000 horse sacrifices. All holy places live within the body of Purushottam month, Vrata. Anyone who faithfully performs Purushottam month will go to Golok Vrindavan. Narada Muni said, Purushottam month is the best of all months. The best of all months, Vratas, austerities. Just by faithfully hearing the glories of Purushottam, month, one attains Krishna Bhakti and immediately nullifies all sins. One who performs Purushottam Vrata properly will attain unlimited sukriti and will gain unlimited sukriti in this life, and then will go back to the spiritual world. The sages of Namasharanya said, merciful Purushottam month acts like a desire tree to fulfill the devotee's desires. So I'll stop here because of time, but I hope I didn't lose you all, and I hope I shed some light on the Purushottam month. And thank you very much for the opportunity for enlightening me on the Purushottam month as well, because I didn't know the glories until I started doing research myself. It's such a wonderful time. So we take these little opportunities to go back to progress and go back home to Godhead. So just by performing Purushottam month is countless blessings. Krishna himself says that and this is coming through so many sages. I've been set down to so many sages. And this Purushottam month is observed not only for us over here, it's observed in the heavenly planets and by demigods and by all the sages and rishis. The power of Purushottam month. So my apology again if I ran a little bit late. In love, there's no restrictions. And in restrictions, there's no love. Please forgive my offenses, and if I've said anything wrong or If I misrepresent in any way, I please beg you to forgive my immaturity. Srila Prabhupada ki. Go for it. Haribo.
Jaya Gauranito, 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 Jaya Gauranito.
Gauranito.